Okay, this is a quick intro to the spring garden that we put in, and there's actually two intros. You'll see one in a minute, but I wanted to mention a couple of things. We didn't show shoveling the rows after I did the tilling. Had done the tilling up. I used a rear tine tiller. It took me for a ride. My wife and I are both in our 60s, and I'm here to tell you that if we can do it, you can do it. Now, it took us a full 5 days. We had great weather. It was hot a few days, but we were able to get it in. I think that you can do it. If you take it slow and deliberate and take breaks and drink water, I think you're going to be able to make this work. We hand shoveled all of the rows, or actually I hand shoveled most of the rows while my wife went behind me and did a lot of the planting of the seeds on the direct sow stuff and the plants themselves. So enjoy the video, and you can do this. Just take your time and get her done. Hey, welcome back to Variety Homestead. So we've spent the last several days prepping our garden for planting, and we're not done yet, but what we have done, I'm going to take you out and show you. Today we're going to be laying down some compost and doing some raking out, and then we're going to hopefully do some planting this afternoon and tomorrow. If you check out the video that we did called Spring Garden Disaster Tour, which I'm going to post a link to in the description below, you will be able to see what the garden looked like prior to this particular evolution. Now, we're not done yet. After we get the planting done, I'm going to put that in this video as well, and you'll be able to see the whole process from the complete disaster that we started with to where we are today. So stay tuned. Okay, here we are coming up on through the gate. I'm going to start over here on the right like I did last time. If you remember all the T-posts that were up and the garden bins. We took down all but 2 garden bins that were falling apart. And I put up 1 row of T-post with cattle panel for the few tomatoes we're going to plant this year. Over there in the back, you can see where we put up the trellises that we're going to have our lima beans and our green beans on them. And then this big space out here is going to be corn. We're going to try to plant around 300 stalks of corn, which will give us about 600 ears and give us, in theory, about 2 years worth of corn, either frozen on the cob after you blanch it or canned corn. And then here's the 2 bins you see here. One bin's got some garlic in it, and it's really, we've had really good luck with fall garden with garlic, but this garlic is coming up. This other half right here where the umbrella is laying is going to be asparagus, and this is going to be asparagus. So I'm going to show you how we plant the asparagus too, and you'll be able to see that. So you swinging back like we did last time, you'll see our greenhouse. These are all the tools and things that we're using here. You come over here, you'll see that the trellises are gone. The trellises are back over there like I described. This is the left-hand part of the garden. And this was all tilled up yesterday, day before yesterday. And it is going to house onions, carrots, parsnips, and red potatoes and white potatoes. So we hope to get all of this in the ground over here by the end of the day today, or at best tomorrow. And since we haven't received all our potatoes yet, we're going to have to maybe delay the planting until we get more potatoes. Anyway, then today's job is to spread these bags of compost and get them situated here, and then we're going to start planting. Well, it's almost 6 o'clock. We did manage to get all the beans in. So here's the trellises with the beans. As you can see, put compost down there, watered it real good. And we got this back one is green beans. These 2 front ones are lima beans. And then we also got the corn in the ground. So you can see the rows here.
And the corn, we're going to finish out right at what I predicted, right about 300, maybe 305. We have not planted the asparagus yet. They're going in this bin over here. And then out here in this little patch, composted that up back along the cattle panel. You've got these German tomatoes. I'll try to find the exact name of them, but they're delicious. We're only planting those just to eat, not to can. And then we've got okra in the next row coming towards the camera. And then the next row we have peppers. And then the next row we've got peppers. And that's the front row closest to the camera. So what we've got going on there, we've got bell peppers, we have banana peppers, we have jalapenos, and one more hot pepper, habaneros, I think. And we got a couple of those, couple of jalapenos. We use those to pickle. And then the okra, we pickle the okra as well. We also roast it. It's really good. And we also put it in gumbo and things like that. So tomorrow we'll be tackling the other side with the onions and the onions, parsnips, carrots, and what potatoes we do have. Okay, it's officially the end of the week and we are done planting as far as we can go. So here's the left-hand side of the garden. You got two rows right up front here that I'm showing you. These are, the one on the right is carrots, and that's a whole row. That's about 21 feet long. And then this second row just to the left is parsnips, and that is 21 feet long. And we planted those a foot apart and pretty thick. Basically just like you were spreading salt on a steak or something. We just spread those seeds out all the way down there. So we ought to hopefully get some yield. Then you got in this row here, where that stake is going all the way down, you got yellow onions. So there's about 80 or so yellow onion sets in there. And then this next row here is white onions. And they're going on down. And some of those sets had started to sprout a little green head. And that's awesome. And that's those. Then you skip a couple of feet, like 3 feet, and we've got 3 yellow squash here. And these, Debbie, grew from plants, or from seeds, I'm sorry. And we've got those in the ground, and they're really far apart because these bad boys get really large. And when they start, you say, well, you're only planting 3. Well, when they start yielding out here, these things are very prolific. So we're going to have plenty of squash. And then on this next row here, this is not actually a row, it's just a marker line. And that marker line all the way over here is going to be our red and white potatoes. And we're still waiting on the potatoes to come in. It's actually a little late, but I don't think it's too late. We pulled them last couple of years too early from the ground. So we're going to try not to make that mistake this year, and we're going to just let them ride out there for a while. And then because they were starting to turn green on us and very quickly. So we're just going to let them sit out there and harvest them much later in the seasoning. Anyway, that's the whole garden setup. So we are in the ground, and we're going to check back in future videos and let you know how things are going. Thank you for watching.